Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by T. T, how are you tonight?
Doing all right.
Good to hear. Good to hear. We are here on another wonderful Thursday evening, ready to talk some WWE. And last Friday, they finally had it. The match we talked about, they built for a pay per view, which I, by the way, love the fact that they put the 6-man tag on the premium live event, and we get the tag team unification given away for free on SmackDown. That's just brilliant marketing. Yeah. I mean, was I the only one bothered by that?
We finally got the match.
True. We did get the match. I thought it was a good match. Enjoyed the back and forth. I like Roman interfering and it makes RK Bro still look strong, even though they lose the belts. And of course, I figured we had to walk out with the Usos as unified tag champs, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. They certainly, the Usos gonna carry these belts. I would assume they're gonna, you know, I wonder if they're gonna come out with. I would think the black lace belts now, as opposed to the blue and red. I mean, I guess they'll probably carry them both out there for a little bit, and then slowly do that transition into just having one championship belt, for each guy.
Yeah, probably. But probably down the future, down the line, brand extension will happen again. Boom, we're right back where we started.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's probably where we're headed at some point down the line, though, because they'll need to shake things up, do something different. So I know that's their only thought is, I don't understand. In what world do they think there's no competition for them right now? Because I mean, look, before we got on the air,
uh,
I watch AEW, and I've been trying to get you to watch it as well. Uh, Look, man, the AEW is getting ready to put on a banger of a pay per view, Double or Nothing this Sunday, and to me, I think it's just as good as a WrestleMania card. The Hardys are facing who are the Hardys are facing the Young Bucks. Hangman Adam Page is going to defend the AEW World Championship against CM Punk. The finals of the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament for both the men's and women's sides. Thunder Rosa's defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Serena Deeb. Uh, I'm trying to think of what else. What am I missing? Not who am I kidding? I know you wouldn't know. Oh yeah, the tag team title triple threat match, Lucha or Jurassic Express versus who are they facing? Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, along with Swerve Strickland, not to be confused with Swerve Scott, and Keith Lee. Yes, that Keith Lee in a triple threat tag team match. It's gonna be a good show. Anybody who's gonna go watch the AEW pay per view, I think you'll enjoy it just as much as any WWE premium live event. I mean, I'm not gonna spend the 40 or $50 or whatever it is to get one event when for about the same money I get almost 6 months worth of Peacock Premium. Well, more than that. I get because it's only cost me since I was a WWE Network subscriber and took my subscription to Peacock. It cost me $5.99 for no ads premium Peacock.
$5.99.
Yeah, as opposed to $9.99.
Well, why am I paying $9.99?
I don't know.
Well,
Did you get?
former subscriber to the network.
I, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that promo's probably run out now, buddy. Sorry. Actually, I have to check my statement. I might be being charged $9.99 now anyway. I don't know if that was just for 6 months or something.
I mean, it's only $10 a month, but still.
Yeah, which we were paying for the WWE Network anyway. Now we're getting a lot more with the Peacock subscription. I will say, I still absolutely hate how much of a disheveled mess the the WWE page is on Peacock, but it's gotten better.
Yeah, they cleaned it up a little bit, but it's still not WWE Network good.
Right. I was so like in. I used to have a game that I would play with myself. Okay, let me rephrase it. A game that I myself that I would play that was, and I've lost my composure. Sorry, guys. um, that like I would close my eyes. Okay, this isn't sounding any better. And I would just blindly let the remote, like hit like a few buttons and until I knew it was going to bring up a show and just see what show popped up, for myself. And sometimes it worked out good, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes I had like WrestleMania 17, yes, actually did pop up during one of those times doing that. And I thought, oh, this is fantastic. Then so did Hell in a Cell pre-show 2015. So it was hit or miss. But instead, what I decided to do was just I figured since it selected the pre-show, well, I'll just watch that show. And I watched that was the year, whatever your Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose main event at Hell in a Cell. That was the Hell in a Cell that came up when I did that random game. Which very underrated match, and I loved the ending with Bray Wyatt just randomly, deciding to interject himself and go after Dean Ambrose.
One of Bray Wyatt's many random feuds that didn't really go anywhere.
And didn't make any sense, like no rhyme or reason to it. Like I liked the John Cena one because anybody could pick a fight with John Cena, and the excuse could just be, "Hey, we want to make a name for ourselves, so we're going to make our name over at the expense of John Cena." And whenever John Cena does come back, which supposedly there's been some discussions about when he's going to come back, and that it is going to be sometime over the summer, I would assume it's going to be a random guy wants to make his mark, and so he's going to feud with John Cena. Yeah, some young guy, I would assume. Although I personally would love to see John Cena, Cody Rhodes, like at SummerSlam or something.
That would be nice.
Right? It's like, before you get to putting Cody in the championship picture, you have Cody and John Cena wrestle. Because who knows how many chances at that we're going to get now.
Sure that.
Let me ask you, I know Riddle, I want to get to to talking about the implications now for RK Bro going forward. Now, Riddle alluded to it on Monday Night Raw that he doesn't know what's going on. Randy's been in tough shape physically. Look, I don't know if that's all work or if Randy really is suffering from some physical ailments. Look, he ain't getting any younger. He's been doing this for 20 years. So I would assume injuries have started to mount up on Randy. And like he's at what, 14 championship reigns?
I think so.
So he's got 2 more before he ties John Cena and Ric Flair. I would assume at some point they're going to look to get him there, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe. That'd be nice.
Like, do you think he needs it right now? Do you think that would make sense? Like, would he make sense as the guy to dethrone Roman Reigns? I've got my theory on who it's going to be, but I want to hear your thoughts on it.
To dethrone Roman?
Yeah.
Uh,
One, okay, I'll praise it a two-part question while I give you a chance to think. One, does Randy Orton make sense for it? Two, if not, who does?
I mean, I don't know. It's not really yes or no.
Your lack of enthusiasm about that one and lack of commitment there tells me you don't think it should be Randy. Am I right?
Yeah.
For the record, I don't either. So that's okay. Okay, who do you think? I want to see if we're on the same wavelength here.
Well, I'm not sure who yet, but Randy already had like that big moment when they unified the WWE and the World Heavyweight titles.
Sure.
I mean, does he need another big win like that to dethrone the 3-year championship of Roman Reigns? Or 2-year, however long it's been.
Yeah, it's been about almost, gosh, yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
I mean, if
Okay,
it,
well, I am gonna. You segued right in there for me beautifully. Well done. So you talked about guys who deserve big moments, and I am going to come up with it. I'm going to give you a guy who would have had a big moment, but had it taken away from him, and by nothing he did, or really anybody did. It was just circumstances that took away his big moment, and could have a chance for an even bigger moment. I'm going to say Drew McIntyre, and the event is going to be at what is it? Carnage at the Castle, or whatever they're calling it.
Clash at the
Clash
Castle.
at the Castle. Yeah, that's it. That Drew McIntyre should win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at Clash at the Castle against Roman Reigns.
Well, from what I heard going forward, the plans for the next couple of months, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be Riddle taking on Reigns, probably at Money in the Bank,
Mm-hmm.
and Orton taking on Reigns at whatever's after Money in the Bank,
SummerSlam. Yeah.
and then McIntyre taking on Reigns at Clash in the Castle.
So it would make sense. It's right there. So is that the night? What do you think? Like, you think it's a good if they were to do that? You think it's a good move or a bad move?
I would say it depends on what goes down tomorrow on SmackDown, because
Mm-hmm.
the New Day supposedly has a third man for a whole big 6-man tag match. If that's going to be McIntyre, then they got to do a little bit more work then.
Yeah, because that means you got to wrap up whatever you're gonna do with Drew against Sheamus and Ridge, yeah, or yeah, and Butch. I keep wanting to say Pete Dunne, but we don't know who that is.
Some guy.
Never heard of him.
Looks a lot like Butch. Must be some TNA knockoff.
Dream match: Butch versus Pete Dunne. Maybe on the same card we can have Ezekiel versus Elias.
Yeah, if Elias ever comes back.
You know, he's all
Cheer your
right.
brother on, man. He's doing good right now.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a great brother tag team that would be.
I know. They could be
Get
as popular as parties.
another dream tag match: Elias and Ezekiel versus Cody and Stardust. Right? That'd be fun.
Well, we'd have to search the cosmos and find Stardust, but yeah, that'd be a good match.
I'll put you on that duty. I'll put you on Cosmos duty. Oh, we can make it happen. And everybody, we get a reprieve from our homework assignments this week. I don't remember what our homework assignments were, and since we were off last week, I didn't feel like digging back and finding out our homework assignments. Actually, if you remember, we can get into them because I'm sure I watched whatever match it was because I'm a nut and I watch I watch random matches all the time.
I forgot what I gave you, but you gave me Harlem Heat versus the Outsiders.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we did a tag team special thing. Yeah, okay, that's right. From Halloween Havoc. Did you watch it? Did you like it?
It was alright. I thought there'd be more flashiness, but
I think it's a product of the times, though. At the time, you know, nobody kicked out of the other guy's finish. Like there, it wasn't as much flash, and I feel like nowadays there's a lot of sizzle, maybe not a whole lot of steak. Back then, man, it was all steak.
it was a good match though.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his name? Stevie Ray's a lot bigger than I thought he was.
Oh yeah, dude's a house. I met him one time at a Walmart in Houston, and I walk right up to him. I see him, and he's just shopping with his family, and I just I walk over to him, and of course it's you're Stevie Ray. And just like that, he turns around. He's just like, he turns around and smiles at me. I'm like, and I go, don't worry, man. I won't make a big deal and draw a lot of attention to yourself. And yeah, we had the little high five bro hug thing, and yeah, and I was just like, dude, Harlem Heat was awesome. He's like, thanks, man. And, that was the extent of the conversation. Yeah, back then, it was this was probably right before I gotten a cell phone, and of course I didn't. When I had a cell phone with a camera, no, I wouldn't have been able to take a selfie with Stevie Ray, but that'd have been pretty cool. It's always funny. Do you ever see on like any of those wrestling Facebook pages where they're just like, "Oh, talk about a time where you met a pro wrestler and what the experience was like." I have met I've met Stevie Ray, I've met the Big Show, and I've met The Rock. Those are the three people.
Holy crap!
Now, yeah, well, The Rock was doing a signing at a sports store that I worked at the King of Prussia Mall. I had just gotten a job there, maybe a few months earlier. Now, when the Big Show came a month earlier, and the Big Show, oh, holy crap! I had maybe been working there a couple weeks when the Big Show came, and it was just I was like, oh crap! So excited. I told the guy first they weren't even going to schedule me to work that day because I was brand new. What the hell was I going to do to help out? But I was like, dude, I want to be here to help with the Big Show, and so they let me stay. They let me work, and I got to meet him. And then I was all up in it when we had The Rock there. He was so cool.
Oh man, I need to meet some people. All I got was a signing from Sasha Banks, and that didn't last very long because it was rushed.
So okay, let's talk about obviously good segue there. Sasha
Yeah,
Banks,
Kevin.
Sasha Banks and Naomi. Yeah, everybody, in case you have been living under a rock, they did their little storm out from Monday Night Raw over the creative. They were going to be part of a 6-woman match to determine who gets a women's championship match at Hell in a Cell. Match eventually turns into a one-on-one match because uh, Naomi and Sasha Banks walk out. Apparently, I guess Naomi was supposed to go over on Sasha. Like, that's what I heard. And they were like, well, is it going to lead to anything? And, like, basically, Naomi was then going to lose to Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell. Sasha was then going to go challenge Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's title, and she was going to lose as well at Hell in a Cell. And basically,
you
nothing.
You know everything.
But so basically, like, nothing was going to come of it. And they were like, well, I thought they were supposed to start a program with Dewdrop and Nikki ASH. Well, apparently they were putting the kibosh on that, at least temporarily. They weren't going to be even defending their tag titles before Money in the Bank at the earliest. And after a couple meetings with creative, one in which like they tried to pitch a different idea for the match, and then another, you know, and another that like was going to help them start their program with Dewdrop and Nikki ASH. When they went to a second meeting, apparently they were called spoiled brats, and that they basically should just take their spot that they're being told and either do the job or don't do the job. And when they got told in no uncertain terms that their ideas were no longer going to be considered, they stormed out and left and threw the tag team titles at John Laurinaitis, apparently. I don't know if they're going to be future endeavored or what the story is going to be, because now like WWE is actually openly talking about it, and normally, man, this stuff would be kept hush hush. What do you think? Do you think? I think this originates in definite like that this stuff happened. Do I think it could have been smoothed out? I think it could have been smoothed out by now, and that the rest of this is a work. Or do you think it's all a shoot?
I mean, if it is a work, then they're doing a good job so far.
I think it definitely.
I got my words mixed up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, if it's a shoot, it's a no. Wait, I got my words mixed up. If it's not real,
real life,
doing a good job.
What's that?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I said if it's just a storyline, then they're doing a good job on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it is a storyline.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did not start out as a storyline. If it is now, then, like you said, they've done a good job, taking crap and turning it into gold.
I mean, they definitely could work it into a storyline eventually. Sure. They've done it before. Let's look at Matt Hardy, Edge, and Lita.
Great example.
But just a small detail to this: that 6-woman tag that was gonna happen. Why couldn't they just make it a fatal 4-way? Like, why'd they completely move out Dewdrop and Nikki ASH?
Don't know.
I mean, I'm fine with the direction that's gone. Now we got a cool triple threat at Hell in a Cell. But still.
Yeah.
But back to the main picture. I'm pretty sure WWE doesn't want Sasha Banks and Naomi to, go to AEW or TNA or whatever.
Right. I almost look at that like because Tony Khan owns AEW and he bought Ring of Honor. And like he's trying to use Ring of Honor, I think, in the same way that originally WWE was trying to use WCW. We'll see if he tries to keep it its own entity or not. He's using their belts on on AEW television, but also doing things with Ring of Honor, like um, to try and make it at least appear as if it's its own thing. And also still working then with Impact Wrestling, but more like Impact working with Ring of Honor as opposed to with AEW. Like I almost look at that as like this, like the Axis powers there. Those three companies all working together to try to take down the conglomerate WWE. And you're right. Like Vince McMahon does not want Sasha Banks and Naomi, the wife of Fatu, you know, one half of your now unified tag team champions, a member of the bloodline, the top stable in your company that you're now trying to say is the greatest stable in the history of the industry, which seems kind of ridiculous in the same industry that's had the NWO, Degeneration X, and the Four Horsemen. By the way, I think all three of those factions immediately trump the bloodline, at least for now.
But they're not related to The Rock.
That's terrific. I mean, look, I'm related to, I'm a distant descendant of Martha Washington. They gonna put me in the White House? Well, I think they should. I'd be a badass president. Okay, so yeah, the direction. I mean, it's kind of murky. The waters there, like what they're gonna do with the women's tag team titles. Apparently, now they're doing a tag team tournament, which I mean, do they even have enough women to do like a 4-team tournament?
Well, from what I've read, it'll be Dewdrop and Nikki ASH be one team. If need be, they could put Carmella and Queen Zelina Vega back together.
Okay, that's 2 teams.
And if need be, they can call up what's their names? Kaden Carter and Katana Chance from NXT.
Okay.
Even though they're in the program right now.
Okay, that's 3 teams.
And
I mean, I assume Natalya and Bianca. Yeah. Or not Bianca, Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, Natalya and Shayna. That might be it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're reaching for any more, I don't know who you're going with the rest of the way. Like, or you got to come up with 4 other teams. I mean,
from also what I've read, if need be, they can just throw teams together.
Well, sure. I mean, maybe I don't know what Alexa Bliss and Asuka. They could try to, or actually, no. What I'd love to see them do is Io Shirai still work with the company?
She better be. I haven't heard anything.
Asuka and Io as a tag team. That'd be awesome.
It's like Asuka came back and now Io's missing.
Yeah. What are we only allowed to have one Japanese women's wrestler at a time?
We'll get our dream match one day. I try.
I want Asuka versus Io, 1-on-1. I just think that would be so much fun. Now they've unified the tag titles. They've unified the WWE and Universal title. Is Money in the Bank when we get our women's unification match?
Uh, doesn't look like it, but anything's possible.
Is SummerSlam when we get our women's unification match? My guess is as good as yours.
There haven't been any hints to it, but again, that doesn't mean anything.
I feel like we have to have it because that would end the brand extension era. It would finally kill it. I hate the brand extension era. Never liked it. Always thought it was dumb. Thought it was dumb in 2002 when they did it. In fact, at the time, I swore off the idea of what. I said I would not order another pay per view until the brand extension ended. I did break that vow when WrestleMania came along, WrestleMania 19, and I was just like, well, I have to watch WrestleMania. And so I did order WrestleMania. But for the longest time, that was like all I did was get WrestleMania because I did not like the idea. Don't insult my intelligence. You're not a separate locker room. You're not a separate entity. You're one company. One guy signs the checks. It's Vince McMahon, and he signs the checks WWE. To my knowledge, there are no Raw checks and SmackDown checks. It's WWE checks. There might be NXT checks. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to check with somebody.
uh,
Let's see what I did there. It's a paper check, or also checking in. Oh no. I actually, they're direct deposits. I imagine for most people, so they probably don't even get a paper check. So who knows who actually signs them or how they're signed? But I like to me, it's gotta kill the brand extension. You can then start putting together big time matches. God, how fun would it just be to randomly be like, hey, two guys trying to push themselves up the ladder, Cody Rhodes facing Shinsuke Nakamura. And it's like, just go out there and have a freaking banger, guys.
that's how you put butts in seats.
Exactly. It's just, they come out there and say, Cody Rhodes comes out there and says, I am on a quest. I want the WWE Championship. The only way I get there is to beat the best competition that there is. I would like someone to come down here who is going to push me so I can get to where I need to challenge for the championship. And Shinsuke Nakamura's music hits. All right, I'll stop. Sorry, guys. And out comes Nakamura. Cody, Shinsuke Nakamura, SummerSlam. You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, because we definitely don't need another Cody Rollins match. I mean, they've been good, but
Every one of them has been fantastic. I would complain, but the stories have been fantastic. The matches have been incredible. I can't say a bad thing about that program.
yeah, but after Hell in a Cell, let's get Cody a new opponent, and not
Yes.
The Miz.
You say what? You don't want to see Cody and Cody versus The Miz, Cody versus Seth Rollins, Cody versus Seth Rollins and The Miz, Cody versus Seth Rollins dressed as The Miz. Come on.
Well, they already gave us 2 Cody Miz matches on free TV.
Cody, Miz, Money in the Bank. It'll be Cody and The Miz in a Money in the Bank qualifier or something the day after.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, the day after Hell in a Cell. Yeah, they'll make Cody wrestle the day after Hell in a Cell, after him and Seth Rollins literally go to hell. I, which I guess with Hell in a Cell coming up, we should do Hell in a Cell matches as our homework assignments. So Hell in a Cell is is going to be the superstar of the week in our homework assignments. If nothing else, man, this is just getting me to watch other random matches I wouldn't normally watch.
All right.
Do you want to go first as far as assigning?
Sure. I'm pretty sure I already assigned this match, but I can't really think of any other. Oh, actually, the other one I think I know I already assigned that too.
Hell in a Cell matches are just great random matches to go back and rewatch anyway. You're right.
You know what? I'll go with option 2, which I also already assigned, but Triple H, Cactus Jack.
Yes. All right. I will enjoy rewatching that one. I'll enjoy redoing that homework assignment. The match that was supposed to be Mick Foley's last match until 5 weeks later when he wrestled at WrestleMania. Okay. Your Hell in a Cell match will be. You know what? This one's not going to be going too far back in the memory bank. It's going to be Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre. From, what was that? 2020. Yeah.
I forget how that went, so I'll go watch that.
All right. Well, I enjoyed the match when it originally happened, and especially enjoyed that they rendered the whole thing meaningless 3 weeks later. I think that's all we're gonna do tonight. I don't like. This is where we're at 37 minutes in. Sure, could I force it by trying to create another topic and keep us going? Probably could, but I don't feel like you'd be getting the quality show that you should be getting. So I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Great stuff. We'll review our homework assignments. We'll start previewing more for Hell in a Cell. And maybe we'll see more Raw superstars mixing it up on SmackDown, SmackDown superstars mixing it up on Raw as we start to tear down the walls of separation. Separate but equal didn't work in the 50s and 60s. It's not working now. Put the locker rooms, desegregate the locker rooms.
Yes. And stop changing people's names.
Seriously. Kaylee Ray is Kaylee Ray, not Ember Fire or whatever the hell her name's supposed to be. Actually, I think I might have gotten it right.
Almost. Alba Fire.
Alba Fire. There we go. I was going to say, I knew it wasn't
a Y instead of an I. Ooh. Edgy.
Oh, they're trendsetters there. Now, I'm actually okay with the Pete Dunne one, because you're not selling it as that's his name. This is a nickname that everybody calls him Butch as his nickname. I'm actually more okay with that.
Well, all right, but can we call him Pete Dunne?
We can call him Pete Dunne on this show anytime you would like. To me, Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, that's a guy I'd like to see in WWE. This weirdo Butch who just, has an impulse control problem with just wanting to punch everybody all the time for no reason at all. I'm fine with a guy wanting to wrestle and the guy wanting to do joint manipulation, maybe break a few fingers, but do we have to have this, this handicap newsie? Doesn't he look like one of the kids? You ever see the show, or it's a musical or something? It's the Newsies. Anyway, go back if you have an hour to kill. Go back and watch that. It's actually a pretty entertaining show. I enjoyed it, and I don't really like the musicals or I think that's what it was. But yeah, he looks like one of the dude from the Newsies. No. All right, guys, that's all I got for tonight. T, anything to add?
Nope.
All right, everybody. See you here next week. And as always, happy wrestling.